Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are live for Financial Fitness Friday. And what we're going to talk about today is just tips and ways to improve your credit that you might not have known. And then I'm going to go into a secondary thing, which is things that I see that are catching up a lot of entrepreneurs right now. So, Dave, why don't you kick us off with 5 things that they probably didn't know how to improve their credit, like 5 tips?
Yeah, man. Number one, the obvious: pay your bills on time. Right from here on out. I mean, you can't stress it anymore. I think the biggest thing, if we're talking on the entrepreneur side, a lot
Yeah.
of a lot of people in general, man, it's like, oh shit, well, I'm a day or two late. I'm just gonna get a late fee, and sometimes that happens until you roll 30 days. But some of these creditors, man, are changing their terms and conditions to where if you're late even by a couple days, they're this 7 day grace period stuff is pretty much by the wayside anymore. They're going to mark you on a 30-day late. And what that does is not only derail you probably at least 100 points, it's going to kill your borrowing power. Most
Yeah.
people that, and I don't care business funding, I don't care if it's a mortgage, I don't care what it is. You're going to be on the bench for a minimum of 6 months. You got to make a minimum of 6 consecutive payments, depending on what you're looking for. It could even be 12. Okay. So it's super important to just, as simple as it is, to pay your stuff on time, just pay it. Set it up on auto pay. Even if it's a credit card for the minimum, at least do something. You rather pay the minimum than nothing.
Yeah. 100%. That's a good one. I'll give you one. Pay all your cards off. Pay the statement balance off 2 days before the statement date, not the due date. All right. Here's why. Everyone understands that the payment is due on the due date. All right. But the card actually reports on the statement date. Okay. And the statement date is usually a couple days before the due date. And so what will happen is if you guys pay your cards on the statement date, it'll show lower usage and your credit score will be higher. Whereas if you're paying it on the due date, even if maybe you paid it off in full, but if it reported maxed or like 80% usage on the statement date, guess what? Then your credit is going to show that that card had 80% usage. All right. That is one easy, quick, tactical trick. And the way you would do that, guys, is go through all of your credit card stuff. I don't want to put this too much on the video because I don't want you guys seeing it. I just had it here. Um, but you'll see on your on your statements, there's going to be a statement date and a due date, right, on every credit card bill that you get, and make sure that you know when it is, and that's when you set up auto pay. All right, that will do very well. All right, what else you got, Dave?
Yeah, I think very good points there, man. I think one thing that people overlook, I'm starting to see this weird trend of kind of going back to old school mentality, right? Like credit's bad. Like I don't want credit, whatever. Like I have my car payment and that's good. I think the biggest thing, guys, is make sure you have enough accounts on your profile. I think a lot of people are coming in with super thin credit profiles, maybe one or two accounts, but your score's high. Yeah, it will be if you have nothing, no blemishes on there at all, and you have that one or two account. Yeah, you could easily have a high 700 credits, especially if it's a credit card. Easy high 700 credit score, but you're getting declined. Why? Well, it's too thin. Okay, you don't have enough good-looking responsibility, so to speak, to anything on the lending aspect. So my rule of thumb is you should have a minimum of three, but I always say get at least five. And I don't care what combination is. However, you definitely need at least a credit card. A credit card is the foundation of all credit scoring. Okay, it's 30% of your credit score, and it's 165 points. So if you have an installment loan or an auto loan or even a mortgage, but no credit cards, you're leaving a lot of points on the table.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And guys, it's a mix, like what Dave's saying. You need your credit cards, right? Then you might need some auto loans and a mortgage, and that is a nice healthy mix. And then if you get into real estate investing, the mortgages become problematic after a certain number of them. But hey, that's a whole other thing.
Yep.
What other tips do you have, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, we hit on those three, man. I think the big one is is controlling. You want to talk about credit cards controlling that, right?
Yeah.
Up and down. When you were talking about the statement date, as I just talk about the mixture, guys, you might have 100% usage, right? Or the ability to use 100%. Doesn't matter if those limits are $500, if they're 50,000, right? The percentage is everything. So if you're coming in close to 50%, you want to handle that in some way. And there's two ways you can do that. You can roll it into some type of debt consolidation loan, or if you're fortunate enough to still have good credit or decent credit, well, I don't know, because it's starting to really tighten up. So you're not, I know if I'm not seeing them in the mail, I know it's tightening up. And it did this in 2020, that if you're getting balance transfer offers, roll it at 0% and pay it off as soon as possible. You're technically, quote unquote, getting free money to borrowing power.
Your mom told you, Ethan.
Uh-oh. What do we got over here again?
So
anyway,
I can't believe she spilled the tea like that, bud.
I'll try to get back on track here. But anyway.
No, listen, I'll work and help you here. The reality is this. Like, when you guys, one of the things that I see a lot of happen is people don't know they're missing payments, or they let something slip on their credit that they didn't really see. Okay. It is super important. I don't care how you monitor it. All right. Dave probably has some better ways than I do. But Credit Karma will alert you to any changes, right? Having a way to check it, I would say you got to check it on a weekly basis, just because you want to make sure you know where you're at. It really, because if you're weak or deficient somewhere, you want to improve it, right? Because credit is the access. It's kind of like the key that unlocks any type of financing, right? And all financing does is give you options, to take advantage of certain opportunities. So keep that in mind, because it's super important. What else you got, Dave?
Dude, like, probably last one, if you want to hit on 5 tips here. And I understand on the surface level of the good that it's supposed to do, but guys, stop doing this. Stop locking your reports, man. Just cut it out. If anything, you're preventing yourself from moving forward in a lot of things. If you can't be verified for something, then what good is it? Now sometimes that could take 30 days, right? Because a lot of that stuff, they're not going to unlock over the phone. Sometimes even an app gets jammed up. Okay, great. But even if the app does work, well, now what does that backtrack to, say, LexisNexis or another data furnisher, that they still can't verify something? Right. So stop locking your credit reports. I get it. You don't want your identity theft and all this stuff. But listen, man, if somebody wants something, they're going to figure out how to get it. Nothing's foolproof. Okay. So if somebody steals it, there's ways to get around it. All right. So number one. Number two, with that, again, it's pissing me off. That's why I can't say anything, because I got somebody who's trying to get a mortgage and is in that same boat right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, listen, like, we're already 30 days past. They had to extend it because he can't get verified. Oh, well, I put a lock on my credit report because I was of identity theft. Okay, well, guess what, man? Did anything happen from that identity theft? No. They took my cards back. They recovered everything. Good. You didn't have a bank account part of it? No. Okay, great. Then don't do that anymore. Okay. Yeah. You're slowing yourself down, because what happens? Well, rates change, right? Who knows? You could have a medical bill show up in that time. It could take more than 30 days, right? So just don't do that. I get it. It makes sense, but it's a pain in the ass to get it unlocked, man.
Yep. Good stuff, guys. All right. Well, hey, I hope this helped you. Please share this with someone that needs to hear it, and we will catch you on Mindset Monday. Take care, guys.
Be great, Joe.